Hi, welcome back everyone. This is Mihail Gio from Circle of Being Somatic Shadow Work, non-dual deprogramming modality for the purposes of discovering inner peace within, awakening to our true nature, and releasing, processing these layers and layers of pain body. So, I'd like to get back, follow up from the previous video when I introduced this experiential tool of working with alarm clocks, working with the so-called small aims in the fourth way. That's how they're called, alarm clocks, small aims. The purpose of this, so it's very important to the more we understand why we engage in a certain consciousness effort or practice, any tool, the more we have understanding why we do it, the more results we have from our efforts and practice. So also I'd like to bring here a little bit of another idea. Is like many of you are working with me and at the level of processing trauma, investigating the cause of triggers, processing and releasing this mechanism of repression, of holding back, of inauthenticity. So these are deeply rooted layers into the body and corresponding with some psychological patterns. So you may be asking, like, well, how are these things that you are talking about, like now I think tool 12 or 13, so how are all of these tools going to help me with trauma, with repression, with patterns of addiction, compulsion, and lack of self-worth, unworthiness, loss, abandonment, stuff like that? So how is it going to help? Yeah, so it's a good question. Basically, this kind of processing of the pain body, of the traumas and all of that, this is like a deeper dimension of work. If I use the metaphor of the ocean, basically first we are going on the beach, we are getting acclimatized to the wind, to the salt on the skin, we are going, starting to swim when the water is still shallow, then we started to swim deeper, then we start to go into snorkeling, then we start going scuba diving, and then we start going scuba diving deep down there where it's dark and there are scary creatures. Yeah, so we can't go straight from the beach with the stereo and the beer going straight into the darkness of our subconscious where all these creatures waiting for us. So this type of tools that I offer now at this point, they are still meant to create, to prepare for deeper work, for deeper processing work. It establishes a foundation of being more present, being less checked out, being more consciously here, present to relatively neutral things or mildly unpleasant things. So we are building our muscle. Another metaphor would be like, how can you expect to swim when you are thrown overboard in the middle of a hurricane if you haven't done hundreds of laps in a quiet swimming pool? Yeah, so these alarm clocks and these small aims, yeah, that's the purpose is to prepare our nervous system for having a larger capacity to witness and allow discomfort in the body connected to our wounds and traumas. Also, the purpose of these exercises are meant to increase the frequency with which we remember to be, to come back to being. I mean, we are always being, Being is what we are, whether we are aware of it or not. We are always being. The problem is that we are unaware of being. And so these exercises, these are like ways to make this coming back to being, returning to the present, where we have more chances to discover the presence that we are, which is the answer to what we want. Yeah. So these exercises are meant to increase a more frequency of remembrance. Also, these exercises they are meant to for remembering more, to be consciously, knowingly, mindful, or aware of the here and now, aware of, as we go deeper into that, we go to the next level of aware of the sense of being here. So consciousness aware of itself. So as we do that, there's some kind of perfume coming, like a perfume of our own soul, perfume of presence, as one of my teachers would say, Francis Lucille. So, and this perfume is nice, is yummy. So through visiting and having access to this perfume, the perfume is connected to being less checked out in and being less veiled by layers and layers of thoughts. So we are more without these veils, and there is like some enjoyment aspect. There's some yumminess. So through this constant revisiting, coming back to the present more and more often, actually our evaluation for the work increases, and our desire increases. And then gradually, through this gradual kind of deepening in consciousness work, for these little exercises, we gradually, ever gradually, awakening or healing becomes the main priority in our life. That is an important stage on the path, because if it is not the main priority, then not a lot of energy will go into it. We are still kind of unconsciously chasing peace and happiness through external things. So that's a normal. That's what we all do, and we need to be disappointed and disillusioned a bunch of times to realize that that's not where happiness is. It's never going to be reliable out there. All right, so let's get back on track here. So, following up from last meeting on using last video, using alarm clocks and reminders. Yeah, so I want to give some examples of it. So there are different ways we can use this. We can also, as I mentioned last time, it's necessary to change these alarm clocks and to have multiple alarm clocks, because if we use the same one all the time, at some point we are becoming jaded to it, and it doesn't wake us up anymore. So we need to keep it fresh, and as you get more experience with it, you are going to become more creative with creating alarm clocks for yourself, which are customized for your own body mind and your own unconscious tendencies to wake yourself up from them. So we can create these alarm clocks, or small aims, they call it. Small aims meaning that, okay, we have the big aim to wake up or to reach the truth of reality, or attain enlightenment, or whatever, release a pain body. We have a big aim like that, but it's too big, so we need to put it in a smaller package to make it practical. What I'm going to do on Monday, what I'm going to do on Tuesday, on Wednesday about this. So these small aims is like taking this big, lofty spiritual goal and to put it into something practical so it can be actionable, and we can stay on track of it rather than fool ourselves with big ideas. And some of the two principles of creating these alarm clocks to trigger this remembering of coming back to being, or self-remembering, being remembering, would be to just something random. Whenever we encounter something random, we use that to remember. You know, like last time we talked about the bell, or about a new sound tone on your device. So this will kind of wake you up. Yeah, so it can be something random that we create for ourselves as a reminder. Another principle would be to identify a certain mechanical tendency in ourselves, meaning some tendency that whenever we engage in that, actually we are asleep or identified. So we can use that whenever that tendency happens to wake us up, you know. So these are the principles. So I'll give you some example. So maybe from the category of just choosing something random to have a reminding, awakening influence would be, yeah, for instance, when we are about the day and walking or driving, we can have the alarm clock that whenever we see the sky or the clouds, you know, we look up, whenever we see the sky or the clouds, we use that as an alarm clock, as a bell, mindfulness bell. So whenever we see the sky, we take a deep breath, drop any narrative that we have, and yeah, drop the thinking and simply be aware of our experience in this moment, and feeling the body, sensing the inner energies of the body, feeling the feet on the ground, hearing, seeing, using all of this as a way to not be lost in thought. Yeah, this is a veil, lost in thought. It covers our experience of just being. So look at alarm clock, looking at the sky, the clouds. Whenever you can make this aim, whenever you see the sky today, remember yourself. Come back to the present and witness and allow any energies in the body and come back to base. Yeah, so this way we can have 10, 15, 20 such reminders. Now once this happens, try to stay there. Okay, you look at the clouds, come back, non-conceptual awareness, notice awakeness is already here. Stay there. You can even continue engaging in activities, driving or something, but stay there. Inadvertently we'll forget, we get identified again or lost in thought. Next time you see the sky or the cloud, use it as an alarm clock. Another way would be to whenever you see any beauty, whenever you are struck by a sense of beauty, now that's where I'm at here in Northern California. It's autumn, so there are all these leaves and colors, and usually in the state of being the zombie state, we are jaded to the beauty, and we are running programs of worries and desires, and we are not aware of the beauty. So whenever you see the leaves, the yellow, the or a wonderful tree or something beautiful, whenever you see there's beauty, you are touched by beauty, use that to remember, to come back to the sense of aware being. Don't go into, oh, this is so beautiful, oh, this is an oak tree, labeling and all of that. Just, you can enjoy beauty silently. Let it in. And also You are aware of the beautiful impression, and you are aware of that you are aware of it. So being conscious of seeing this, yeah, that's another way to go. Another so-called random trigger would be, whenever you see a stop sign, like stop sign, stop, or red, green, yellow traffic light. Whenever you are stopped by a stop sign, you can use that again as an alarm clock. Like stop, like just stop running, stop being lost, stop chasing something out there, happiness later, some other time, somewhere else. Stop and take a moment to just be. So, the sun, the clouds, the stop sign, beauty, leaves, these can be used for triggering self-remembering. And I'm going to talk more about this term, self-remembering, but this way of coming back to what Eckhart Tolle talks about, Buddha talks about, living consciously in the present, conscious of being conscious. All right, it's getting a little too long here. Try to keep it shorter, so I'll make another one with some other type of alarm clocks. Yeah, so this makes sense only if you try them. Try them, use them. Let me know how it goes. Ciao, ciao.